I'm gonna tell you why Cowboy Bebop is the most dangerous, cool anime ever made. Not because it's violent, not because it's dark, but because it teaches you how to look fine when you're emotionally cooked on the inside. And if you're a dude in your early 20s and you've ever said, I'm good, while you're not good, this video is probably gonna hit you in the stomach. Because I didn't watch Cowboy Bebop and think, wow, this is deep. I watched it and thought, wait, I do that too. And by the end of this video, I'm gonna show you the one thing this anime taught me that made me realize I've been running from my past the entire time. And you'll probably recognize exactly what you've been running from too. Most people think Cowboy Bebop is about space bounty hunters. That's not what it's about. Cowboy Bebop is about emotional avoidance. It's about being the guy who says he doesn't care because caring used to hurt too much. It's about being the guy who moves on so fast that you never actually process what's happened. And the reason it's so relatable to men in their early 20s is because this is the exact age where running from your past becomes your entire personality. You don't call it trauma, you don't call it heartbreak, and you don't call it depression. You call it being chill, or locking in, or I'm just focusing on myself. And that could be real, but sometimes it's not growth. Sometimes it's just avoidance with better branding. Here's the first big point. Spike looks cool in the way that a man looks cool when he's given up emotionally. He's calm, he's quiet, he's unbothered. But as episodes go on, you realize he's not calm because he's at peace. He's calm because he's checked out. And that is the most relatable male coping strategy ever. Because when you're young, people tell you, don't be emotional, don't be needy, don't be weak. So you learn how to act like nothing gets to you. And then you start confusing emotional shutdown with maturity. Spike is basically the final form of I'm fine. He smokes, he jokes, he fights, and he survives. But emotionally, he's still stuck in the same place. Cowboy Bebop doesn't show the past like a flashback dump. It shows the past like a shadow, like it's behind Spike at all times. And that's what makes it real, because that's how past works too. You can avoid it for weeks, months, or maybe even years, but it doesn't disappear. It waits for quiet moments. It waits for a random song, a random smell, or even a random photo. It waits for you to finally stop moving, and that's why a lot of guys stay busy. We stay busy so we don't have to feel anything. Work, gym, games, scrolling on the phone. You got porn and anything else that distracts you. Anything except sitting in a room with our thoughts. Spike does the exact same thing, except staying busy is hunting bounties and pretending nothing matters. Spike says he sees with one eye in the past and one eye in the present. And I'm gonna be honest, that line is one of the most brutal things you can hear when you're in your early 20s. Because a lot of dudes live like that without realizing it. You're here, technically. You go to work, you text back, you laugh with your friends, and you post stories on your Instagram. But your brain is still stuck in a moment. A breakup you never got over, a friend who betrayed you, a version of you that failed, a childhood thing you pretend didn't affect you. So you move forward, but you're not fully present. You're half living. And that's basically Spike's entire life. Let's be real, this age is confusing. You're old enough to feel behind, young enough that people still expect you to figure it out. And the worst part is nobody teaches you how. So what do most guys do? We build a mask. We become the chill guy, the funny guy, the I don't care guy. And if it works, it gets you through the day, but it also keeps you from actually healing. Because healing requires you to admit you're hurt. And a lot of men would rather be numb than vulnerable. Spike is the perfect example of that. Spike has people around him. Jet is stable. Jet is the old school type of man. He's got pain too, but he tries to build something. Faye is chaotic, but she's desperate for connection. She wants answers. She wants a home. And Spike? Spike is the guy who shows up, smiles, and leaves. Because leaving first is safer. If you don't commit, you can't get hurt. If you don't fully love, you can't fully lose. That's the mentality. And if you ever pulled away from someone who actually cared about you, you get it. It's not because you hate them. It's because you're scared of feeling pain again. Here's a hard truth. Spike's calmness isn't confidence, it's resignation. It's the vibe of a guy who already believes he lost. And that's why Cowboy Bebop is so dangerous to idolize. Because men see Spike and think, yeah, I want to be like that. But what you're really saying is, I want to stop feeling. And when you stop feeling, you just don't stop feeling pain. You stop feeling joy too. You stop feeling hope. You stop feeling connection. That's why Cowboy Bebop is sad even when nothing sad is happening. The sadness is in its atmosphere. The emptiness is baked into it. Here's the exact moment that realization hits. It's when you notice Spike never truly moves forward. He changes location. New planet, same pain. New bounty, same emptiness. New episode, same shadow. And I realized that I was doing the same thing. I wasn't progressing, I was just distracting. I wasn't healing, I was just numbing. And the scariest part, it felt productive and it felt like growth. Because from the outside, running looks like the movement, but running is still controlled by what you're running from. Most people can't heal because healing requires stillness. And stillness is where the past catches you, so you keep moving. You keep talking to new people, you keep finding new goals, you keep acting like it doesn't matter. But eventually you get tired. Not physically, emotionally. You get tired of being the guy who always pretends he's fine. And that's when Cowboy Bebop becomes something else. It becomes a story about a man who can't avoid himself anymore. I'm not gonna over-explain the ending, but the point is simple. Spike eventually stops running, not because he thinks it'll end well, but because he's done living halfway. And that's the truth most people avoid. Sometimes you don't confront your past because you think it'll fix everything. You confront it because you can't keep living like this. Because at some point, numbness becomes a prison, and when you're honest with yourself, you realize you don't want to be cool, you want to be freed. Cowboy Bebop didn't teach me motivation, it didn't teach me discipline, it didn't teach me how to be a man. It taught me something way more important. If you don't face your past, it will quietly shape your future. It'll shape who you trust, who you love, how you react, and how you sabotage yourself. It'll shape how you treat people who care about you. And you'll keep saying it's just who you are, but it's not. It's who you become to survive. So if Cowboy Bebop hit you harder than you expected, that's not because you're sensitive. It's because you recognize something. And maybe the reason you feel tired lately isn't because life is hard. Maybe it's because you've been running for a long time. And the messed up part is, you probably already know what you're running from. If you want, comment one word, running. And I'll pin the best comment that explains what Cowboy Bebop made you realize about yourself. And yeah, see you later, man.